what's up, guys? It's NeemaNaz, a.k.a. A Stupid Neema, which is the name of this podcast. We're on episode 4 right now. Today's guest is a very special guest all the way from Melbourne, Australia. He's a podcast host, a comedian, and he's a handsome fella, a good fella. And he's here today. Ash Williams, everyone.
Naz, Ami, great to be here.
Yeah, man.
I love your camera work there, Naz. You were hitting camera 1, camera 2.
Yeah, just straight fucking,
Dude,
just
it's like I was
clockwork,
on
baby.
Fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Oh, hang on, I've sworn.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we started, Naz goes, "Hey, try not to swear in the first 2 minutes."
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah?
It's all good, man.
Yeah,
It's all good, yeah. Well, yeah, whatever,
solid.
man. We're not making money anyway.
No, all good, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming, man. We actually met literally 2 days ago.
We did.
On the street, like not just like on the street. We just bumped into each other. We met up. We had a plan to meet up on the street. We had a coffee. But you actually, it's funny because you followed my brother.
Yeah.
After you followed me from like years back, right?
Yeah, a couple of years back, I first started seeing your stuff on Instagram. I followed you first, and then you were tagging Amid, and then I followed Amid, I think.
Yeah.
But Amid followed me back.
Oh, okay.
But I think he might have unfollowed me.
He doesn't even follow me, is it? There was many years where he didn't even follow me.
Yeah, right.
He wouldn't even like my shit, watch my shit. He's a hater, bro.
Dude, how about those people who like follow you and then like you see them in the street like 2 years later and you're like, hey, let's stay in contact. And then they're like...
and you don't.
Well, no, but then you go, yeah, sweet, I'll get you on Instagram. And they're like, I'll follow you. And you go and look on their profile and they don't follow you anymore. So they definitely unfollowed you.
100%.
And I always call them out. I'm like, you unfollowed, didn't you? You unfollowed. They're like, nah. And then like, usually, they go red or something. I'm like, why would you unfollow someone on Instagram when you have mute? Like, mute is the polite unfollow.
It's true. That's a good point.
I feel like it's going to come back to bite you. And
Yeah.
I've got a list.
Oh, trust me. Yeah. I have many mutes.
Yeah, dude, I'm all mutes.
Oh, you're mute king.
Yeah. I just occasionally I'll see someone and go, look, I wonder what they're up to, and I'll go in manually.
Oh shit.
And I go, it's not a bad day. I like that Instagram story combo.
I know.
I'm going to take them off mute, and
100%.
then I end up putting them on back mute.
Yeah, it's the best way to not hurt their feelings.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's bad for business. You're a businessman.
100%. Entrepreneur.
What, entrepreneur?
Exactly. Yeah.
Why would you damage a relationship by giving them this figurative middle finger?
Yeah, I know.
Just do it in darkness without them seeing.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Where no one can see you, just in the shadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always do.
That's it,
in
man.
real life too.
Yeah.
It's always in the shadows.
They're like, is he giving me a thumbs up or a middle finger? But they can't really see because you're in the dark.
That's it. Yeah, man, it's very interesting. Speaking of social media, actually, I saw on your page that you hosted the Miss Universe Australia.
Yeah.
Was that was this year or like recently?
That was last year, but I've done it 4 times.
That's sick.
Just down the road, actually.
Where is it?
Collins Street.
Like it's in a venue?
It's at the Sofitel, at the top of Collins in Melbourne. It's Miss Universe Australia, the final.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
It's cool, man. Yeah.
How did you get that gig?
Dude,
I'm not saying like, how the fuck did you get that gig?
No, not at all,
I'm saying
dude.
more like,
No.
how did that come about? Yeah.
No, I actually get asked that pretty much every day. I just got an email from a production company. This is like in 2017 or 18 saying, do you want to host it? And I was like, maybe. The money wasn't great. And I remember I spoke to my agent at the time and I was like really more of a no than a yes. And then I thought, let's just do it. It'll be fun. You know what I mean? Like with gigs, it's either got to be well paid or it's got to be fun or you're trying to work on something. And for me, it ticked the fun and something new.
Yeah.
And the money's still okay, but
Right.
for what those gigs are, it wasn't paying market rate.
Right. But like, I'm just curious because like, did these people know that you did that from before? Like, because have you hosted other things before?
Yeah, I've hosted other things.
Like, what are some of the things that you've hosted before?
Like a lot of launches, a lot of product things, TV.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny. You actually forget what you've hosted. But
I mean that's a good thing because that means you've been doing a lot of it.
Yeah, but it's just like I've been doing a lot of hosting and stuff for at least 10 years, maybe more than 10 years. Yeah,
that's pretty interesting.
Probably way more than 10 years. Yeah,
and that's not including like doing podcasts and stuff like that.
Nah, podcasting we started, I think 9 years ago.
Wow, 9 years. That's like early days.
Well, the first podcast I did was in 2012 in LA.
Wow.
Yeah.
No one was even doing podcasts at the time.
No. We had no idea what podcasting would be. And the irony is the guy who had the podcast then isn't doing podcasts now. He stopped doing them. He transitioned from a comedy podcast to more of a Star Wars podcast.
Oh, he found his niche.
Yeah, he found his niche, but we did it there just opposite the Comedy Store in Sunset Boulevard at the Great Western. And, mate, it was cool. It was podcasts are a vibe.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many of them now. You got to make it interesting, make it unique, and hopefully make some money out of it.
I know. Yeah. How did you even get into podcasting in the first place? Like, what made you want to do podcasting?
Well, I was just like, this sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Having conversations with comedy mates, and it was never about making money initially.
Right. You had a passion for just talking on a larger platform.
Yeah. And we thought, this is different. This is something that we can control. We still didn't know where it was going to go, and I still don't think anyone knows where podcasting will necessarily go. We have more of an idea, but who knows where it will be in 5-10 years, right?
Right.
Do you reckon you have an idea of? Do you think it will just usurp everything podcasting? Like there'll be no radio, or it'll be just a podcasting landscape?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's been like that for a few years already. Like, radio's kind of become obsolete. Right, like no one's really listening to the radio unless they're in the car and their fucking Bluetooth is broken.
Yeah,
like, I guess I have to listen to radio.
Yeah,
no one's willingly listening to radio.
But you know what, man?
Unless they want to win the prizes, right? They do the fucking power hour.
Yeah,
giveaway. And like, oh my god, I won $20 at this grocery store.
Yeah. Do you know what though? There is something nice about listening to radio live, and I don't know what it is. Whether it's like a connection with an audience and the irony is, of course, that a lot of live radio is pre-recorded, but you feel like you tapped into some energy, some live energy.
Yeah.
Whereas the podcasts, you are going a bit off grid.
True.
But I don't know, man. I think the American podcasts and the way it's going over there is a lot more. It's years ahead of Australia. In terms of like what the money they're making, the audience, the sponsorships.
I know.
It's mainstream media in a way over there.
It is.
Podcasting here in Australia is still
a hobby,
a bit back alley.
Yeah, your little hobby.
Yeah. There's a few.
No one takes it seriously.
No, I mean, there's a few that are making good money, but again, it's like a bit clandestine or clandestine, however you pronounce that word. But it's
clandestine. Clandestine. Clandestine?
Is
it what word?
It's a secret.
A secret?
It's like it's a secret society type thing.
Oh, like Illuminati.
I'm pretty sure it's clandestine actually.
All right, we'll do a little Google.
But yeah, so it'll be cool when the podcasters start making some big money here in Australia. I think.
Why do you think? I keep hearing this ever since I've come to Australia. Why do you think Australia is like 10 years behind everywhere else? Like in all these different types of forums and platforms and in the entertainment industry specifically.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Because we're both in the entertainment industry, right? Entertainment world.
Yeah.
It's like why is Australia so behind?
Yeah, I don't know. And if you asked Joe Blow in the street, he or she wouldn't say we are behind. But if you look at the where the line is in comedy, where I reckon we're about 2 years behind, and then taking the podcast example, we're probably 5 years behind. So I don't know why. I think it's probably just we're a bit more old school in the media.
Too many beaches.
Too many beaches, and man,
too lax.
Well, who's more in front, like China or America?
I have no idea.
We don't know much about China.
Probably China, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing. So, like, I don't know if Australia is like that techie,
No, not at all.
So, compared to America, that's probably why we are behind.
Yeah, because I even talking to other comedians, right? So, because like I come from a background of making content like regularly.
Yeah, man.
For the past 9 years, I've been doing it.
Yeah.
In Canada, like even in Canada, somewhat like they're a little bit behind too from America.
Yeah.
But even Canada's ahead of Australia. which is crazy because I'm like, I've been doing content for about 9 years, but then like I come here, I meet a lot of comedians who are just like regular comics. Every night they're working, right, doing stand up, and like none of them do TikTok or like Instagram, or like no one's doing any kind of video, platform, which is weird. I'm like, that this is you have to adapt to the times, right? Because this is what everyone's doing nowadays, and so it's just like it's just confusing. I'm like, how is no one catching on to this here?
Well, that's it. I think a lot of the established comedians here in Australia are a bit older. So they might be, over 30, over 35, whatever.
Right.
And so they don't necessarily embrace new media. So, like, they're not going to be walking around filming all their TikToks. They've got enough to do. Yeah. Whereas some of the younger ones might be doing it, but not to the same scale as someone in America or Canada. I mean, when I first met you, Naz, you turned up with a mic. You were mic'd up, dude,
I was.
for our coffee. And I'm like, what's this dude doing?
I'm constantly mic'd up, bro.
Yeah.
Literally not right now, but I just took it out. We just vlogged before this podcast.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, where's the content, Let's post more content.
But don't you find that you've got too much content?
No, I never think I have too much.
Really?
I never do. I always think I'm actually behind.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Whoa. Do you watch the content back together? And do the audience know that Amid's here producing and... Yeah, so like, obviously you guys are a power couple, right? In a way.
Sounds kind of gay, but...
Yeah, well, it's, it's like... you share a single bed, whatever you guys get up to. But
that's true.
It's I won't even say what I saw when I walked in, but it would help having someone to look at your stuff more objectively and going, this is funny, we got to use this. Because sometimes it's funny, but there are things where you don't necessarily see it because it's too close to you.
100%. I agree with that. And I am super close to my own content. But because of having him around, he's not as emotionally attached to what I'm doing. He just sees like the bigger picture.
Yeah.
And then he's just more so there to guide me through like, okay, man, like this stuff isn't really working as much, or this stuff is. Maybe try doing more of these things. And then for now, and then until you can get better at these things, right? And then it's just like a work in progress. It's just constantly kind of just guiding me through the vision of what's going on.
There you go.
But
must help a lot.
But he never watches the content really. Like, not that he does, it's just there's so much. It's just hard to get through all of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like almost impossible.
Well, that's the hardest part.
Well, yeah.
Watching the content back.
Yeah.
It's easier to get the content and film that.
Sure.
For me, the cutting up of the videos and
I get it.
And you know what I mean? It's fun when you have the end product, but going through it, man, you're like, Jesus.
Trust me, bro. I fucking asked this guy. I've been editing this vlog, the next vlog I'm posting. Not the one that I just filmed, but like it's already like edited for the next post.
Sure.
For like 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah.
There's 11 hours of footage that I hang together.
Whoa.
But, to be fair, a lot of it was like, because I was in Perth and I was doing a lot of stand-up shows.
Yeah.
And I was just like a overload of all the footage from Perth into like one vlog. And a lot of it is like the filmed stand-up sets that I filmed.
Yep.
So I cut up a lot of those, and like that took away a lot of the time. But it's just a process you have to go through. And it's like, actually, you know what it is? I think if you're passionate about it and you enjoy doing it, which I love doing it, if you ask him, I was so ecstatic. The fact that I got to organize the files before I even started editing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, I'm so happy. I can't wait to edit this 11-hour vlog.
Yeah.
Because I just know all I have to do is I know how to edit it. Yep. I just have to go through it.
Yep.
But it takes long. It's tedious at times. But I think if you actually enjoy it and you love it, then there's no boundaries.
Definitely.
I don't know. You just this is just it. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. You know? And that's why I feel like separates like the greats to like the people who don't really want it as much.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But
you got to do it all. You got to get your hands and your mind dirty.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. Gotta get fucking muddy, man.
That's
gotta
it,
roll
bro.
around like a pig.
Oh, yeah.
You also are super into tennis.
Yeah.
I noticed. And you also have a tennis podcast.
I do.
And is tennis your favorite sport?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to be a pro when I was growing up. I wanted to, till about the age of 16, I wanted to become a professional tennis player. But then you got to be that good. I wasn't quite at the level.
Not Djokovic level?
No, man. God, he's good.
He's amazing, bro.
He's the GOAT easy. I mean, there's I mean, if you're looking at it on facts, it's not even a discussion.
No.
So yeah, I mean, and then I kind of, the great thing about sport when you're younger, did you play sport growing up?
100%. Yeah, we both did. He swam. Well, we both swam competitively.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like he was actually like he was much miles ahead of me because he was older. But rep soccer. You call it rep here?
Rep.
Yeah. Rep soccer, rep basketball. Yes, swimming. I feel like when you're good at one sport, you can kind of play at every other sport in a way. I don't know. Like, because I also loved playing tennis, even though I never really played, but I'm like, I know how to coordinate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did.
Yeah. I was going to say, like, playing sport growing up just keeps you off the streets. It keeps you focused until you're about 16, I think.
Right. That's when the drugs kick in.
That's when the drugs kick in. That's when you have the also that's the sliding door moment of like, am I any good? Can I turn pro?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
You start going out more. You start probably seeing girls or guys or whatever, and you're like, I don't know. So
in your case, was it girls or guys?
Both.
Both.
I was.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I was
equality, dude.
Bisexual before it was cool. But
you're the OG bisexual.
Yeah, man. No. I fucked a lot of dudes.
Hey, man.
You
gotta assert your dominance somehow.
Just on that. There's this guy I know, and his housemate. This is a while ago. My mate is like hardcore gay. Like. If there were gay rankings, he would be like probably 30 in the world, right?
Wow, he's the Thanos of gay.
Well, Thanos is number 1, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, this guy's 30. He's 30.
Well, but in relative to the percentages,
well, he's Thanos for Australia.
He's number 1.
Yeah, so he's like the Australian Leighton Hewitt for gays, right? And so his housemate comes home and says, "Oh, I'm actually really confused. I've got a girlfriend, but I think I might have feelings for guys." And my mate, being like, Leighton Hewitt of gays, he's like, "I can help you out. We're friends. I'm happy. Like, I've got a free night tonight. I can just kind of just give you a bit of everything to see if you like it, right?" So they do. My mate goes, sorry, the housemate goes, "Yeah, okay, cool, man. I'd actually really appreciate that." So that night they do everything.
No way.
Like everything, man. And
what?
my gay mate is dirty as fuck. Right? So they do everything. I'll let you imagine what that could be. And then
that's crazy.
The housemate wakes up in the morning and says to my mate, "Yeah, thanks for last night. I'm not gay."
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's wild.
It's wild. So anyway,
no way.
Yeah.
He obviously is. He's so nonchalant about it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I think he just
bi-curious?
I think he was confused. But here's this thing, man. You don't be confused around my Leighton Hewitt mate, because like
he'll make you more confused,
dude. I've stayed at his house on the couch, and he's got a bed, and I've woken up and he was behind me, and I'm like, "What the
behind
fuck
you?
What the
what do you mean behind
He was asleep on the couch with me. I'm like, "What? Why are you on the?"
Like, on the same couch,
fully clothed, but like I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing, man? Like, you've got a bed."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted to cuddle." I'm like, "No." Go to bed. I told him, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah. I don't swing that way, brother.
No, dude. So, I mean, if I did, it would be very, very easy. I reckon I would be the Leighton Hewitt of gays.
Buddy, you'd be the Sith Lord of
gays.
Yeah. You'd be Darth Vader.
Well, I don't know if I told you this. I worked in a gay bar in LA. So
man, that's the hub.
Yeah.
Wait, what were you? Wait, why were you even in LA in the first place?
Because I was working in radio here for like 5 years, and then the job changed a bit, and the show changed, and I was like, "Well, I'm not doing the show."
Right.
So then I didn't have a job, and then I thought, "Fuck it, I'm just going to go to LA."
Yeah.
City
of dreams.
Yeah, and I went there with like all my money, and within 3 months, all the money was gone.
Of course, because it's so expensive over there.
Yeah,
and the taxes are nuts.
Yeah, and you just like living in the moment. Because LA, you don't live for tomorrow. You live for today.
It sounds like such a broke thing to say, which is I completely relate to.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, that's exactly how I am. When
it's
I'm
but it's high vibes.
it's high vibes.
Right.
Yeah, it's good vibes.
Right.
Good weather. Good
It's
vibes,
absolutely
beautiful women.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it's actually, I was going to say it's one of the keys to living in the moment.
Right.
And
You got to be a little bit delusional.
yeah.
A little bit ignorant.
Well, you always just think, something's going to come in,
Yeah.
because I thought I would have an agent by then. I
Right.
thought I would have been spotted for some film or
Yeah,
something.
some
And it's like,
commercial,
what's
yeah.
going on? It's been 3 months. What is this shit?
yeah.
Right?
No one's knocking on my door.
Dude, I'm walking down Sunset topless. What else do I have to do?
And
then,
you have this beautiful accent.
right. And then I thought, I checked the bank. There was like $200 in the bank. I'm like,
Jeez, that's scary.
I've probably got to go back to Australia. And then I thought, I can't go back. I've told everyone I'm not coming back. It's only been 3 months. So that's what
Yeah.
I just knocked on one of the gay bars down there on Santa Monica Boulevard,
Oh, yeah.
where they had the go-go dancers in the windows,
Okay.
and just said, can I dance?
No way.
Yeah. And they're
Seriously.
like, well, yeah, they go,
Wow.
So they go, listen, can you dance? And I go, yeah, sure, man.
I could shake my ass.
Yeah, I can dance. And they go, well, we've got the managers of the gay bar. It was
Yeah.
called 11 Nightclub. And it was called 11 Nightclub because apparently that's when it got good.
At 11.
At 11.
That's usually how
everyone's
it
like,
is.
oh, it's not 11 yet. Wait till
Right.
it gets... But the thing is, it never got good, right? So then I did a little dance out the back. And then they're like, we've seen better dancing.
Right.
Can you take your top off? And then I took my top off and I was in serious shape. And they
Oh.
go, show us your ass. They're like, yeah, man, you can start tonight.
That's hilarious. Wait, you were doing this as like a test run? Like
Yeah.
a trial?
Yeah.
Before anyone was there?
No, yeah, it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. It was
So
like,
you were butt naked,
no, I wasn't butt naked.
like
I
at
was just,
the end of it, like by the end of it.
no, I wasn't a strip. So I was
Oh,
just in
okay.
my undies.
Oh,
But
right.
there were 3 of the owners
Yeah.
sitting
Oh, just literally
in
like
the
a-
shadows.
Like an audition.
Yeah, like think of like the the way that it's shot in Godfather 1, how it's always like the sun is poking through Venetian blinds kind of
Right, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That's what it was like. There was sun
Oh, that's so
poking
funny.
through the cracks and I could only see their
Right,
faces
silhouettes.
a little bit. Anyway, so then they're like, "Oh yeah, you can start tonight." I did the dancing for like maybe 10 minutes and I was like, this is too hardcore because the dudes were just coming up, grabbing your dick.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
like you when like that the first shift you started.
yeah,
It was too hectic.
yeah, too much. Because you don't get paid by the hour. It's whatever you make.
The tips.
Yeah. So, but then I saw these dudes doing the vodka shots, and I said, what's that? And they go, you don't want to be them. They're just the shop boys. The shop boys don't make any money. And I was like, I reckon I can make money doing that. So that's when I started doing the shots.
Oh.
And I did the shots for about 6 months.
Yeah.
But I just kind of, because you only make $1 per shot, right? Because they're $5, you get
Yeah.
to keep $1.
Oh, okay.
But then one time this gay dude comes up and goes, how much to suck on your nipple? And I go, because I hadn't even priced that. I'm like, oh. I go, $10?
No
And
way.
he goes, okay, I want a round of nipple sucks for me and my buddies.
Oh my god. Nipple sucks?
Yeah. So then the next
That's
guy was
crazy.
like, hey, I heard about these nipple sucks. How much? And then I go, because by this stage my nipples were getting pretty sore. It was the first night. So I go, $20? They go, $20 sounds like a good deal to me.
No.
And then I was
way.
sold like
Lineups.
$300 of nipple sucks.
That's crazy.
And I don't have to pay commission on the
Oh, wow.
it's cash.
That's pure profit.
So
This
then
guy's a nipple king, bro.
so that's it, man. So that's how that nipples started.
Wow.
And I started to make more money from the nipple sucks. And you know what's funny? Do you know Pauly Shore?
Yeah. Funny.
So you know him well?
No, I never met him. I just know of him.
So like one time he comes up to me at the gym, Equinox gym there.
Yeah. We went there a couple times in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, and he goes, he comes up to me and he goes, you busy? And I was at the gym. I'm like, I was doing triceps. I go,
Pauly Shore.
Pauly
The
Shore.
comedian.
Yeah.
You knew him from
I
before?
knew him a little bit from the Comedy Store because
you were
mama. Yeah, because I used to do sets at the Comedy Store.
So you knew Mitzi?
I didn't know Mitzi.
Oh, okay.
No.
Did you ever meet her though?
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, okay. And this was obviously before she passed.
So this is 2012, 2013, 2014.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
And so Paulie's like, "You busy?" And I go, "No, man, what's up?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm filming a documentary on my life out the front, and my best friend hasn't turned up.
Oh.
Will you play my best friend?"
Oh.
I barely knew him. Right. I'm like,
it's so random.
I'm like, yeah, I can play your best friend.
Yeah.
So then he goes, "Come outside," and I walk outside the gym, and it's like this setup that we have here, or cameras everywhere. They put a mic on me, and he's like, "Just act like you're my best friend. You're my best friend for this documentary."
It's a documentary
on his
it's
life,
real documentary.
Yeah. And then he's like, "What's going on tonight, buddy?" And I go, "Oh man, I'm working at the gay bar, dude." He goes, "You what?" And I go, "Yeah, I've got to do nipple sucks, man." and he's like, he goes,
"Nipple sucks.
What do you mean, buddy?" And I go, "You meant to be my best friend. You meant to know this." And so I told him about the gay bar, and he goes, "This is great. We're coming down to film tonight."
Oh, wow.
So there's this documentary where he filmed for like 2 or 3 hours, and Pauly bought everyone nipple sucks.
No way.
To the point where I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
You're drained. You're like,
I've
buddy,
probably done 50.
Nipples falling off.
They were so red, and I'd made bank that night. Pauly was paying, like, it was 20 a nipple suck, lines of dudes, and I'm like, "Pauly, stop it. We've got to stop it." And he goes, "One more, buddy, please. We got to get one more on camera." I go, You have at least 100. How many?
Oh my god, dude!
And then
100.
And then that was it. And then the next morning, he goes, "Come to the Comedy Store. We're going to be throwing out all the old relics and keeping some stuff. And it's going to be you and my buddy." And so I turn up in the morning, and it's myself, Pauly, and Kevin Hart.
What?
This is before Kevin was. It was 2012. This is before Kevin like really exploded.
Yeah.
And so and then we just went through some stuff, and it was a bit weird.
What do you mean going through some stuff?
Oh, like, should we keep this or throw it out? This is like a...
Oh, just in the store? Like the...
Yeah, because the Comedy Store is so big.
Yeah.
And there's so much shit,
I know,
like, from all the years.
Right.
That he was, throwing stuff out and keeping stuff.
Interesting.
And it was weird. Because then it's like...
so random. Like, what?
He's going, "What do you think, Kevin?" Kevin's like, "I don't know."
First of all,
you do a good Kevin Hart, wouldn't you?
No, I can't.
Oh, really?
I've never tried it. No, I don't think I could ever.
You could definitely impersonate anyone, I think.
I don't. No.
Oh, you
I
could.
don't think so.
No, because you've mastered impersonations.
I mean, some of them.
Yeah, because you've got the process down pat. I think you'd be able to get
right.
You know who's really hard to do? Novak Djokovic.
Novak Djokovic, yeah. I want to see if I can get his.
His voice.
It's very distinct.
It's a bit all over the place.
I know. I've seen some guys in Australia, actually, they can do Rafael Nadal, Djokovic, and someone else.
But the Djokovic is not there. I still haven't seen anyone do... Because the normal tennis impersonations people do are Andy Murray, Rafa Nadal...
Yeah,
Jim Courier, John McEnroe,
Nick Kyrgios.
Yeah. And
bro.
Hey, bro.
I'm just trying to play. It's not a big deal.
That's good. That's good.
He's very he's fucking like
yeah.
It's like I don't know, bro.
Yeah. See, that's it.
Yeah, I gotta just practice, but yeah, it's cool, man. I've actually wanted to do a Nick Kyrgios impression, but I was like, I gotta find a good idea for it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing too. Is even though you can do the impression, and I know because I don't see myself as an impersonator. I see myself as like a comedian that can do impressions.
Yes.
Because if I'm doing an impression of someone, I don't like to just do it just to do it. I like to add it. I like to throw that character into a fish out of the water scenario to make it funny.
Yes.
Right? Because it's like boring if I'm just like, here's Gordon Ramsay, and then I just do it, right? But Gordon Ramsay fucking playing soccer, like that's hilarious.
There you go.
Right? So that's the best way I find that works for me, and that obviously the fans enjoy, is when I that's why it's easier for me to like constantly continue doing the same kind of characters, but just in different scenarios, because it never gets old in a way.
Yeah. Well, that makes it unique to you, because no one's going to have the same idea as
Right.
you, where you're betting the impression in a comedic setting.
Yeah, yeah.
What annoys me is on TikTok or whatever, and it's like these guys have got millions of views, and all they're doing is impressions. There's
Right.
no comedy.
Right. It's just like,
And it's like they're doing
yeah, I
a
know.
Mark Wahlberg, which like my mum could do. It's like, it's like,
Alan,
dude,
what are you doing? We gotta go.
yeah. So right,
You think you're the only one with the gun?
yeah. See, and it's like it's a million, but there's no joke. It's like you could literally find
exactly.
I could find, I reckon 5,000 people on TikTok today doing a Mark Wahlberg impression.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know,
Yeah, I see it a lot actually. There's just one guy that's really good at it.
I know the guy you're talking about. That's the guy,
The guy who does like fucking Will Smith and all these other guys.
and he does it in his car. Does he?
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a few that are really
Yeah.
good, but yeah. But you're right. It is kind of repetitive.
Yeah.
That's why you have to stand out by doing different shit like that, right?
Yep.
That's why I take it a little step further and I try to create a scenario for that character.
Yeah.
Fish out of the water. So, but I mean, I don't know. It's fun.
Cool.
Do you what would you say your style is for comedy?
Fly on the wall.
Fly on the wall? What does that mean?
Like first person, like, you know, come and ride. You know, if you're a little leprechaun or angel, I'll put you on my shoulder, and you can experience how I live my life.
Right. So storytelling.
Yeah, thank you.
It just took a whole minute to get
dude.
to start.
Edit point, storytelling.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but that's actually funny because the way you just explained that,
Yeah.
you be clearly painted the picture that, oh, that's storytelling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just funny.
Yeah.
You're good with words, and I can see how you can paint the picture pretty well. Like that whole gay story you just told, that's fucking great. The telling that on stage would fucking kill.
Yeah. I have tried it on stage. It's gone all right, but I haven't told it for a long time. 'Cause
Right.
You know what I mean? When you've got old stories,
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Is like is the reps of trying it over and over again. Right?
Well, that's it. The
And then
funny
you
thing,
add things.
that's yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. The funny thing about that gay bar story is I didn't want anyone to know that I was doing it. Because I was
Doing the bit or
no, that I was working at the gay bar,
Oh,
because
okay.
people thought I was killing it. They thought I was like, you know,
Yeah.
doing like traditional show business.
Oh, the next Dane Cook.
Yeah, whoever. Hemsworth, right? And,
Hemsworth. That's who you fucking remind me of.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah, you got the voice because he's Australian too,
He's
right?
Australian, yeah.
Like Chris and Liam, both of them.
Yeah, and
There's brothers,
and the other
obviously.
one. There's another one.
Yeah, the other one. Yeah,
And-
but Chris is the main one.
Chris
Chris
is the main one.
Yeah.
Yes, it's
You could definitely do Chris Hemsworth impression. You got the voice already.
Oh, see, I don't know if Chris does much. He's kind of like, hey, I'm here. I'm just about to get in the ice bath, and yeah, I was with my kids this morning, and the pains in the asses. But I don't know. We're filming Thor next week, so I better get in some shape. Peace.
Bro, it's literally it's like it's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah,
Like if you just did him as Thor, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Thor. What does he say? Like, have you seen Thor?
yeah.
Yeah, God of Ragnarok or some shit, right? Like, I don't know what it says, but
Are there any Thor impersonators on TikTok?
there's a couple. I've seen a couple.
Yeah, right.
Not a lot, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of niche, I guess, because Marvel's fucking massive, obviously, but
Yeah,
Thor is a huge series, I think. So, but
yeah. The
you go over there.
You're right. Yeah, I was going to say, so like with the gay bar story, I didn't want anyone to know about it, so I wasn't going to do it on stage.
Yeah.
And then my mate, I was Skyping back in Australia, and he's like,
Skype.
You're
That's
right.
how you,
You're
that's how you know you're older.
"Hey, dude, we gonna Skype or what?"
Yeah,
And then he's like, "This is a funny story,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Yeah, well, don't tell anyone. Just keep it to yourself." And then I told another mate, and he's like, "This is a crazy story." And then another mate was like, "You got to tell it on stage." And it took me maybe 2 or 3 weeks before I was like, "You know what? What have I got to lose?" And I just told it one night without too many jokes, just like what was happening, the way I told it to you, really.
Yeah.
And it did really well. And then I was
Sick.
like, hang on, I'm onto something here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the best, man.
Yeah.
Is when you kind of doubt it at first, but then like you start doing it, and then it starts to do well, and you're like, oh, this has potential.
Yes.
It's the best feeling in
Oh,
the
it's the
world.
best.
As a stand-up, going on stage and trying something new that starts to hit, you're like, fuck, man, this is better than anything.
Well, it is, because you've created something really out of nothing, and you're trying to build whether it's 50 minutes or whatever, you now have, you know,
Yeah.
a little bit of a floor plan for your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you? Have you ever released any like specials or
No,
any, like,
no, I haven't. I've done a few like hour shows, but haven't filmed them.
Right.
I'm doing a show in about 2 weeks, which I'll film.
Okay.
But that's going to be loose. Like,
Yeah.
I don't really even know what it's going to be. I know what about 20 minutes of it is going to be,
Yeah.
and then the rest, I've got to work on it. This will be the last thing I do for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
This podcast.
Oh, because you're gonna prepare for the show.
Yeah, I've got to like put my head down.
Yeah. No, as you should, man. That's great. Yeah. I also saw that video of you interviewing Djokovic, actually, the one about him eating chocolate.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was that about?
Yeah, so I have a tennis podcast called Get a Grip.
Get a grip.
Get a Grip.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's okay. It's low hanging fruit kind of name, and
That works.
I had a media pass to the United
Australian-
Cup.
Oh,
So this is before the Australian Open is the United Cup now, which is like, you know, all of these different countries vying for the title.
and this is in Australia.
This is in Perth.
Oh,
yeah,
it's in Perth.
but it's in Perth, Sydney, and Brisbane.
Oh, okay.
And I had a media pass, and
How'd
they're
you
like,
get a media pass?
"What do you mean?"
How'd you get a media pass? Like,
I put the paperwork in because I've got a podcast.
Oh, really?
I got like a letter of reference from our production company, and
Oh, sick.
went through the right channels, and then they said you can have a media pass.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, Novak Djokovic is going to be in the press conference room in like 10 minutes.
Oh, sick.
And I'm like, I'm going, but I need a question. I don't want to, because those press conferences are so boring.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
always the
Same
same
questions.
question, and tennis is boring enough, and I love tennis.
Yeah, I know.
So I was like, I reckon I've got a fun question, because back in 2012 when he beat Nadal at the Oz Open in the final, which was arguably one of the greatest finals of all time, he, as a celebration, let himself have one piece of chocolate. One piece.
Right.
And he said that's all he would allow himself. That's what it takes to be number one.
Right.
This is the guy we're dealing with. Novak Djokovic is cut from a different cloth.
100%. He's like LeBron, like Kobe. All these guys. Yeah.
He has one piece of chocolate. So the question was, you know, you famously have one piece of chocolate. I want to know if you've had any chocolate since.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a fun question. And Novak said, look, that is actually a true story. I had one piece of chocolate, but I always have my vegan desserts. I had four vegan chocolates last night.
Okay.
And again, you learn more about the tennis player by asking a bit more of an interesting question.
Right. There's something that no one else is asking.
No.
Because that's what people really want to know is like, who is this person outside of tennis?
Yeah.
Because, and the same thing me and him talk about is, it's very interesting you mentioned that because, my brother always says, imagine if like Drake made vlogs about his life. How interesting would that be?
Yeah.
Like Drake, or like someone who's famous, like The Weeknd or fucking whoever, right?
Yeah.
It's like because you never get to see anything outside of like the highlights of their lives, of them on stage performing.
Yeah.
I'm like, I imagine if like Drake showed like what type of food he was eating, you know, what he does in his off time. He's playing video games. You know what I'm saying? That stuff is cool.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's what that question is like you're getting that information out of this superstar, that's like this figure that like everyone sees as a spectacle, but like you see the human side out of it, which is the most interesting part in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because whether you want to glean something from their life or like you say, just learn something more about them. I mean, how many times has Novak been interviewed like in the last 10 years? Like thousands upon thousands of times.
Same
when
question.
did he say that he has 4 chocolates each night?
Never.
And that's his treat. You know, my vegan treats.
It's
you know,
yeah.
It's like, dude, we're learning more about you, and you're becoming more human because people think he's too robotic. He's actually not.
No, I know.
And
you're just not asking the right questions.
100%.
That's why people think he's robotic.
Yeah.
'Cause no one's asking the right questions.
He actually kept asking me questions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What did he ask?
So he goes, do you have any recommendations for
chocolate?
desserts?
Oh, really?
And I said,
Interesting.
I don't. And then and then the lady had already taken the microphone off me.
Oh, what
and
the
so
fuck?
I was just yelling it back at him.
Oh, really?
And I said, "Look, dude, I'll bring you something tomorrow." But he lost.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not coming back."
He didn't come to the press conference. Yeah. But
damn, that's interesting.
Yeah, man. I don't know. You just got to try and do some interesting things.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess I'm curious too. Is like, what even got you into all this kind of world in the first place? Like, did you what inspired you as a kid or whatever to like kind of being either in journaling or journalism or like podcasting or comedy? What was the inspiration for you?
I didn't know really what I wanted to do in school. I thought marketing. I really enjoyed marketing.
Everyone does.
It's what you do when you don't know what you want to do. And so I ended up doing commerce, and then I did event management, which is like whatever that is. And that's nothing to do with events at all. I mean, they need to change the name of event management. I was just calling up people trying to find umbrellas for like 2 months.
Umbrellas?
Because there was an event with all these umbrellas.
Oh, yeah.
And because I was like the junior,
right?
They're like, you got to find the umbrellas. This is old school, calling up people. I'm like, this is the worst job ever.
Of course.
So I quit that, and then I started radio, but I was doing like midnight until 3 a.m.
Oh, it's the worst hours.
But you just got to get your flying hours, start learning the panel there in the radio station. This is old school radio. This is at Nova in Melbourne. And then, I just kind of got into entertainment through radio.
Right.
And it kind of got to a point where it was getting really busy. Yeah. So I actually started a marketing business. Yeah. And I couldn't do both, so I sold the marketing business and just went all in on myself.
Nice.
Yep.
That's probably the best decision you've made for yourself.
Yeah.
To just like go.
100%, bro.
Because you actually enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, I think I was saying to you at coffee the other day, you're doing what you want to do. You're doing what you think you were put on this earth to do, and you wake up in the morning fired up to get shit done.
Nothing beats that feeling, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're inspired to create good things. I heard, not that I think Taylor Swift is great, but I'm coming around to her. I'm going to butcher her quote, but she was asked what creativity is. And creativity, she said, is having that light bulb moment and channeling that, and then having the discipline to sit down at the desk and write that down and translate it to the audience. So, yeah, it's when you're doing what you feel like you're meant to be doing, doing both parts of creativity, is probably the hard part too. Yeah, because you know what I mean. Like that first part, finding the light bolts, easy. Sitting down, getting your hands dirty is the hard part.
100%.
Yeah,
that's the part that a lot of people are missing.
Yeah,
and a lot of people lack.
Oh, well, that's the part that I really need to focus on. It's all, if I'm ever dragging my feet at all, it's in that area.
And why do you think that is?
Because I'm a sucker for life. I like being out there in the pinball machine of life, going boom, boom. This is fun. Yeah.
Just enjoying.
That's it.
Enjoying the days.
That's it.
Yeah, like you're saying like you don't take life too seriously, or like.
I like experiencing moments. And sometimes you've got enough moments, and you got to go and sit down and write them down, and however you want to parlay them into stand up or podcasting or whatever, or a book, whatever. Yeah, you've got enough moments. It's like you're like a cook. We've got enough ingredients, man. Yeah.
Interesting. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
It's a good question. I'd like to be in America at some point. I want to. I definitely, there's just something there that I feel like I should be there.
I agree with that. That's where we're trying to go to, but we got rejected. Our visas got rejected. Yeah. Going in, so we had to come here almost. I like it here. Yeah. It's cool.
I'm surprised you're here.
Why are you surprised?
I honestly thought your girlfriend must be from Melbourne for you to come here, because I messaged you and I said, what are you doing here, bro? Like, you don't often...
Wait, hold on. You thought I had a girlfriend?
Well, I was like,
that in itself is a joke.
Why else would you move to Melbourne? It's usually like, I don't know, you don't see a lot of, people moving to Melbourne for a year.
Really?
No. So
I guess we're the anomaly.
But it's cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we do know something that you guys don't know.
Okay. Okay. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, yeah, we love it here. Melbourne's great, and it's good. Well, my purpose of being here is to just get a bunch of stage time over the year, because I'm building new material. Like for my new hour of material I'm doing that I'm going to take on tour in 2025.
Yeah.
Which will be more worldwide than the previous tour I did. It'll be like Canada, U.S., Dubai, even here, and some Europe as well.
Yeah.
And
cool.
The reason why we want to go to the U.S. is so I can build the new material on a bunch of stages all over. Yeah. And not in front of my fans. Yeah. Because we didn't want to keep pulling from the well of my own fans in Toronto, which is where I was. Because if they saw my material when it's like half-assed, then why would they come to the tour show when it's like, oh, I already saw this material? You know what I'm saying? So that's why U.S. was a good market for us, because it's still like less than Canada is for us, but there's like way more opportunities where like you could just get up on stage and like no one would know who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like just way less chances of people knowing who I was based off my videos and my socials. Yeah. And then here was a backup plan because it's a more livable city. It's cheaper to live. It's a little bit better than Canada in terms of like living expenses, and the weather is like, we're right in the summer, so I'm like, I can't complain about that. You know what I'm saying? That's the best part. Yeah. And it's like, if not now, then when, right? Like I'm 29 years old. He just turned 35. And actually 35 is like the limit for the visa that you can live for a full year. Oh, wow. So it's like, it had to been now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the universe was just like, go this way. And so anyway, that's why we're here for the whole year. And yeah, man, it's cool, man, especially because it made sense, because I made the connections 6 years ago when I was in Perth with other comics who live here now, like Ash Fils-Aimé, Joe White, I'm sure you know those guys. And yeah, man, so that's why we're like, Melbourne's just like the best place for us. And it's like, there is a lot of stage time here. Yep. Like not a lot of pay, but like that's not really what I'm here for. It's to just get the reps. Get the reps. Yep. And then eventually the goal is US. That's the big money maker, where everyone goes to kind of make it,
What I'll actually add to that is that I think a lot of people are very like trigger happy trying to get to the US, which like, sure, in comedy and entertainment, like I would make the argument it's the Mecca. But for somebody like, we recently listened to an episode of Russell Peters, who he's like his inspiration, like he's very similar, or we're similar to him in style, sort of thing. And we admire and almost blueprint what they're trying to do to some degree. A lot of people don't know this. Like I certainly didn't know, but he spent like 5 or 6 years in London. Yeah, UK, yeah. And so I think there's value in going away from your market, getting like just life experience, like cultural life experience, where like, you going to LA, that was like a culture shock to some degree. Yeah. Learn some things, get tropes of like their observations and sort of things like that. And like, I think it's interesting to circumvent and then take everything you have, like all your experience, and then show up to the US more complete almost. That know. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Russell Peters from though? Isn't he from London?
He's from Toronto.
He's Toronto.
Oh, get stuffed.
Yeah. Wait, you thought he was British?
I thought I really did. I thought he was British. Yeah.
He speaks with like my accent.
Yeah. Okay. No. Very cool.
Fucking hell, fucking oath.
No. You're right. No, he's a big time killer, isn't he?
Well, he's still selling out arenas worldwide. Yeah. He just sold out arenas in India. He's on a tour in India right now. Wow. Like it's nuts. Who else is doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. It's insane, man.
Jeez. Yeah. But didn't you support someone big?
Him.
It was Russell Peters.
Yeah, it was Russell Peters.
Dude.
I opened for him in my hometown and 2 other cities in surrounding areas.
Oh, how good's that?
Sorry?
How good?
Like, awesome. Fucking amazing. It was it was a huge milestone for me. Yeah, seriously, dream come true. Yeah. Like I literally not that I was always talking about it, but like he was the first comedian I always talk about. He was the first comedian I saw on TV when I was watching with my dad when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, who's this guy? Right? It's my intro to comedy in a way.
Yeah.
An intro to my sense of humor and his and all my friends growing up.
Yeah.
Runs deep, right?
Right.
Especially because he's from Toronto. He's from the same city, right? Same kind of background, very similar.
Cool.
And yeah, man, I don't know. It was just like a surreal experience, you know, kind of circle of life moment.
Yeah.
It was in my hometown arena of 16,000 people, which is fucking unheard of. Wow. Where at my stage in the stage of my career where I was at the time too, I was like 6-7 years in. It's like no one's doing this.
So how did he contact you? How did you get the gig?
So we found out that they were actually, him and his team were actually fans of my videos.
Cool.
And then we reached out one day. We're like, hey, we'd love to pick your brain about like how to plan a tour or some shit.
Wow.
And then his manager, which is also his older brother, just like me and him.
Yes.
He got back to my brother like within minutes. And he's like, yeah, like we're actually big fans of Neema. Would love to meet for lunch or some shit. And we just kind of like built the friendship from there.
Wow.
Relationship, yeah. It's pretty sick.
Dude, you got to always ask, don't you?
100%. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we never would have known probably. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows? It was perfect timing because like a few months later, that's when he was touring in Canada.
You never know.
And then like I feel like all that stuff is meant to be, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like what you want to.
Well, I was gonna add like so somebody sent me an article.
Oh
saying,
right. Yeah.
Clayton Peters, who's Russell Peters' brother, mentions Neema in an article, like in a news. Like I could have easily just not have seen it, or somebody who had not seen it not sent it to me. And I'm reading this and I'm like Googling like Clayton Peters because I know Russell, but I didn't even know he had a brother, right? I Google Clayton Peters and it's like, yeah, like Russell Peters Management, blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? Like in the off chance that this is like a real article or this is, I don't know, like somebody could have just, you know, tried to beef up the article and made this up. I like find his email and I'm like, hey man, like I saw this article that like, if this is actually real, I just wanted to say like, this is so cool. Like, I didn't even know you knew who we were. Like Russell's a huge inspiration. He's like his icon, whatever. We admire him so much. Is there any way you'd be into like maybe a 5-minute just like call? Like I'd love to just introduce myself. Like I didn't even want anything from him. And then to his point, Neema's point, he's like he emailed back in a few minutes, and he's like, indeed, huge fan of your brothers. I think what you guys are doing is great. How about lunch?
Yeah. Like,
and for us,
crazy,
like,
dude,
that's so cool.
You guys.
Yeah.
And he's jumping up and down, yeah.
Oh, man, we were
yeah.
amped. I was like, no way.
And going there, I don't know, you've probably heard this quote of people who are like, don't meet your heroes. There's like that, I don't know, sometimes it's whatever, maybe there's a letdown or something. We left that conversation and that lunch like in tears from joy.
Yeah.
Of like
both
somebody so genuine, somebody so forthcoming with like his experience and his time in the same industry as us at like the highest level, giving us 3 hours or whatever it was of his time on the very first time we met, bought us lunch, FaceTimed Russell in the middle of the thing, introduced him to him. And I was like, there are really pure people in the world, particularly in this industry where at times there are, you know, motivations beyond, you know, when money is involved, there's motivations, right? That are beyond So, and that this was like an introduction into the higher level of where this could go in the most pure positive sense. Like he's, I don't know if he considers himself like my mentor, but I really see him in that light. Yeah. Cause he's just so full of, wisdom and experience, and he's he'll share it, right? He's very forthcoming.
Yeah.
Very honest and raw.
It was just a beautiful experience. Like very beautiful experience, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, we were talking at coffee the other day, Naz, you know, about the difference between maybe Canada and America versus Australia in terms of the natural giving nature of Americans and Canadians. I feel like you wouldn't see that kind of behavior as much here in Australia. Sadly,
that's what I hear. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think there's a little bit. Yeah, there's a little.
What is this tall poppy syndrome? Everyone keeps fucking talking about. What's tall poppy syndrome?
I don't. The easiest way I can explain it is like you don't want anyone to do too well. And the tall poppy thing is like if they're getting too tall, let's cut them down. Let's bring him back down to size. Where,
Relax, mate.
Yeah. So
You're one of us.
That's it. Yeah.
Sit down.
Whereas in America, you know, when I was there for 3 years, I think I said to you, like, you talk to like LA producers or comedians, and they're like, "You're doing a show? Oh my God, that's great! I'll be there. Wow, I'm so proud of you, buddy." I'm like, "Are you taking the piss, man? Are you fucking for real?" He goes, "No, I'm happy for you." I'm like, these guys are so fucking nice. And I'm not saying Australians aren't nice. It's just not.
It's not a part of their culture.
Necessarily, the part of the culture. And I think there's just a lot of people who have already made it are still trying to make it. And you're like, dude, you've made it. Chill out.
Like here.
Yeah.
What do you mean chill out? Like doing what?
You know, I know guys who've been like at the top of the comedy game for 20, 30 years, and they're still like quite almost insecure about their status.
Yeah.
In the scene.
Right. I'm like, why? Like, it's ridiculous.
You've made it.
Yeah.
You've done it.
Why are they insecure?
I don't know.
About what?
I don't know. I don't know if that's more of like
They're just traumatized from all the tall poppy syndrome in
They
Australia.
keep getting cut
the years of like, mate, come down here.
Yeah.
You're too high.
I don't know, man. Anyone who's made it over in America, there's not many Aussie comedians. I mean, you got Jim Jeffries.
Yeah.
But there's not many who have really killed it there.
There's none. I don't know a single one.
Yeah.
That's like made it even in America.
No. So
a lot of Canadians have made it though.
So Russell Peters?
Russell Peters is obviously one of the best.
Who else is there from Canada?
Well, Jim Carrey, he's an actor, but like he's one of the biggest
big time
actors of all time.
And let's not forget, one of the best stand-ups of all time when he was doing stand-up.
At the time, yeah. He was killing it. Yeah, yeah.
He kind of bowed out at the top. He was like, I've mastered this. What's next?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be surprised.
I don't know if Robin Williams is Canadian. Maybe, but Mike Myers is.
Yeah.
He's also a killer.
Yeah.
Right? Like fucking sick as one of the greatest movies, Austin Powers.
Yeah.
You ever watched that?
I've seen bits. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say though, like there's a lot of Canadian like people like Neema now.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
There's Ryan Long and Che Durena and Steph Tolev. There's
Steph Tolev. Yeah, she's
our friends Andrew Packer, Mark and Anthony,
Danny Martineau. Like just like a lot of Toronto scene guys. Like
Hassan Fills is really killing it.
Oh yeah,
there's quite a few people who are like really starting to and Laura Ramoso is Canadian, right? Is she not?
Yeah, she's from Toronto.
Do you know who Laura Ramoso is?
No.
You should tell him because she was just here, or she is still here.
And no, she just went to Brisbane.
Oh, but
she's touring Australia. She's a one-woman show. She doesn't do stand-up. It's just more like sketch.
Yep.
Like one-woman sketch.
Yep.
So, whatever. She does characters online. Posts like, a couple of videos a month.
Sure.
Like fucking smashes. The videos crush.
Ooh.
She has fans all over. She's over 1 million followers. She grew like hundreds of thousands within months. And she's touring all over Australia right now. Sold out theaters. She's selling out theaters right now. Like, it's crazy. The Comedy Theater.
In Melbourne. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Nuts. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, there's just people like that are like in the new age of social media from Canada that are blowing up in America too, and like all over.
And is there a pretty close Canadian culture, like in terms of you stick together, you look after each other, or that competitiveness?
A little bit. There's groups. Yeah, but mostly it's like very cliquey and like and not in a great way.
Yeah.
Where at least from my experience and other comics that I fuck with, they all have the same experience of like.
Well, then maybe Australia and Canada aren't that different.
Yeah, that's why I said that earlier, because I was like, well, Canada's not much better at like, they're still behind in a way.
Right.
Because America, the difference I found is when you go to America, American comedians themselves, they'll big you up, they'll hype you up more, or like they want to see you fucking do well. They want to like crush shit together. They're down to collab. They're down to do things. Yeah. Canada, everyone's so fucking lax, like here, right? Everyone's, whatever, man. Like, it's gonna take me 2 hours to get here. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of excuses and laziness.
Yep.
And that's honestly one of the reasons why it deterred us from staying in Toronto and in Canada in general, is because it's just at some point it gets tough to actually find people to collab with or like do things with, right?
Yeah.
Like record a podcast even, or like film something, or writing sessions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All those things, because everyone, I don't know what it is. I don't. It's like the culture there. Like people are just like, they're almost like haters against each other.
Yeah.
Like no one really wants to help each other.
Maybe
They're just thinking about themselves. And like,
it's comedy. I feel like comedy's really competitive.
I mean, sure, but I don't. Before I used to think that too, where I was like, oh, I'm against all these people. But I've slowly gone to the point now where I'm like, man, I'm just on my own path.
Yeah.
And I don't really care what other people are doing or how their success is going, because it doesn't affect my success.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And it's like, it's the Gary Vee thing, right? Fucking, just because this guy is winning doesn't mean you're losing, right? It's like, I'm probably butchering it, but it's something along those lines of like, one person's success doesn't mean like it's taking away from your success.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's more with comedians who don't find people funny. Like if you like a comedian and you think they're hilarious and they're doing well, if you're not happy for them, then there's something wrong, right?
I know.
Because you're a fan. You think, even though they might be a
100%.
friend, you're a fan of their comedy. So to be consistent within yourself, you absolutely have to be happy for them. I think where the shift internally is when there's someone who you think is just terrible and they're killing it. And you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But again, you've got to get zen with it, and none of it really matters. It's like,
no, it doesn't affect you at all. And I used to think that way too. Where I was like, oh man, like how is this person booking this thing? How am I not getting it? Right? Naturally, as a comedian, you think that way, which is it's real shit, right?
Yeah, it's terrible.
But then after a while, I'm like, well, I don't know, especially with the help of him coming along and kind of like having different types of people around you that aren't comedians. They see it in a different way, and they're like, hey man, you're just seeing it the wrong way. It's like this shit doesn't even matter. That has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
It's just you're on a different path.
Yeah.
It's a different timeline, and luckily for me, I believe things as they go.
Yep.
And that helps me to just continue to keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky and I'm grateful for that, because otherwise we wouldn't even be here. Because when he came along and he was he helps with like seeing things in a different way, in a different light, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. I don't have to worry about what this person's doing because I have my own thing going. They don't have what I have. I have to see it more that way, right?
Yeah.
It's like, man, like they have that, but they don't have what I have.
Well, that's it. I mean, you can create your destiny without sounding too cliche, but it's like, imagine if you were an actor or an actress and you're waiting for the phone to ring. There's not a lot you can do. You can do a few, acting things on social media, but not really.
Not really, yeah.
I feel like, as a comedian, you can get out the creative juices and get noticed in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah. 100%. I agree.
Have you seen this girl, Veronica Slowakowska? You would have seen her, wouldn't you?
Maybe. What she do?
She does. I reckon she's from Canada. She's just like this. I'll show you her Insta afterwards. She's kind of blowing up. She does this one take sketches.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah. Anyway, I thought she's from Canada.
No, I mean maybe I've probably seen her stuff.
Right.
But yeah, there's just so many creators, man.
Yeah.
Fucking everyone's doing everything now. But yeah, man. I feel like it's a good place to wrap it up, man.
Cool, bro.
It's a good conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. And I guess one last question I have is I like to ask at the end of every episode, specific to the guest, I guess. I guess what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. That's what I'd tell him. So 20, I would have been 21. I'm 41.
Oh,
so
wow.
it sounds so cliche, but it's like figure out what makes you happy and do it. And follow that path. Back yourself in as well, especially in a creative pursuit. Back yourself in and trust your instincts. And have fun and don't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got asked a question the other day. What's your answer to this? You can only pick one. Resilience, ambition, drive.
You can only pick one?
You can only pick one. I know you need all three.
Right.
But which one are you picking first?
Drive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I just feel like that's the foundation to getting there.
Yeah.
Because without drive, if you have ambition but no drive, you're just going to keep thinking that you can do it, but then you don't actually put in the work. I feel like the drive is like the work. It's the dirty work.
So that's the first
That's the first one for me.
part of the engine.
Resilience, I think, is actually last.
Whoa.
It goes drive, ambition, resilience for me. Because, I don't know, without drive, I feel like you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You got to have the drive first.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's where I always, whenever I talk about doing when I'm doing comedy, I think about drive because I'm like, oh, my mom, my dad, they're immigrants from Iran, right? They fled the country to come to Canada to give my brother and I a better life, and I'm like, they worked so hard, not only there, but when they came here, they were broke and they had to fucking do jobs that they hated in order to make some money so we could be fed and then like give us a good life. I'm like, that's drive.
Yeah.
Because they didn't stop, right? They had to have this like feeling of like, oh, if I don't fucking work for this shit, no one's gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I feel like I get that mentality, that drive mentality to do comedy. Yeah. Because I'm like, man, I fucked up. I'm not where I'm at. Like I can't stop. I gotta keep going. With you.
You're
but
right.
also, I guess it goes hand in hand with resilience too, because resilience means that you just keep going. But
yeah.
But ambition is very like, oh man, like I wanna sell arenas in 20 years.
Yeah.
Right, but like that's kind of
drive is.
But drive is what's
interesting.
gonna get you to the ambition.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it. At least.
No. Well, the way I put it is just like a bowling metaphor. So your drive is you setting the bowling ball down the lane. Resilience is having bumper bowling.
Right.
So it's going to keep the ball. Without the resilience, the ball's going to go in the gutter.
Right, because it keeps on the path.
And the pins are the ambition.
Right, where you need to get to.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's a good way to put
it. So, but if you can get your drive on point, you won't need the resilience. But at some point in your career or your life, you will need the resilience.
100%. There will be things that will come by. You're like, oh fuck. Like, like this sucks right now, and it's discouraging. But I have to keep going. Yeah. There could be. You just don't know what it is. Right.
No. Hey, I've never tried. You've given me a prime. Can I try? Can I try a prime for the first time?
Go ahead. Taste test.
A live review.
Hey, Prime, if you're watching this, please sponsor us. Yeah, and KSI. Let's see. Taste test, baby. You got Tropical Punch.
Okay, I got the Tropical Punch. I like the logo and the color. I'm a big fan.
It's very attractive.
They did some like
good marketing.
Really strong like beta testing. Is that what they call it?
Yep.
Here we go.
There you go.
Holy shit. It's not what I thought it was going to taste like.
Really?
Tastes like medicine.
That's what everyone says originally. That's everyone's initial thought is medicine.
It's like Benadryl. It's like this medicine you get when you're a kid.
Benadryl?
Benadine, I think it's like
Benadine? Is it the Aussie version? Benadine. Yeah, mate, just fucking saw some fucking Benadine.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Benadine.
Hey, you want to get Benadine? Take some Benadine, you can't.
Is this the best or worst flavor?
I like this one the most. And then it's probably lemonade for me. And then the blue one and then a green one. Oh, Glowberry is not bad. No, sorry, Metamoon is the best one. The white one. From what I've tried. I don't know, man. I fucking like all of them. I like sweet things.
I tell you what, man. They
it gets better as you drink it, though.
What's the liquid version of Moorish?
Moorish? What's Moorish?
Moorish is like when you have one nut, you want another nut. Moorish is like
what? Oh, like
You've never heard the term Moorish?
No, I've never. Have you heard of Moorish?
So listen, and it's not literally I want more-ish. Oh. No, it's not that. Moorish is like you have a nut.
Right.
You're not even hungry.
Oh, and you're talking about that nut. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And it's like, oh, these nuts. Oh, they're so Moorish. And anytime someone says Moorish, it means they're going to eat the whole bowl. Oh. That's like an excuse for like, I'm going to pig out here.
It's like a bag of chips. You can't just have one or two. You have to have a whole bag.
You can't. I don't know if you can say that chips are Moorish. It's more about nuts. It's like things that you didn't pretzels. moreish, like
Licorice.
licorice in a way.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, what's the moreish for liquid? Because you wouldn't say this is moreish.
Really?
It's just the wrong English.
I don't know. What would you call
Well,
moreish
it's the
for liquid?
opposite to like quenching your thirst. It makes
Oh.
you thirstier.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I'm thirstier
right. You need
now
to keep,
more than I'm thirstier now than I was before I started drinking this.
Fuck, I don't know. Maybe tequila?
Do you know what? This would go well with tequila.
It would. Yeah. Well, anyway, give them a review for the prime, and then we'll finish it off. Out of 10.
The prime, it tastes better the more you drink. I've just had about 400 ml. First sip is like a 1, and now I'm working up to about an 8 out of 10.
Oh, wow. Really?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It gets good, man. It's a roller coaster.
Benedine.
Yeah, and if you love Benedine or Benedine in Australia,
Yeah.
you will love this prime. It tastes just like medicine.
Interesting. Wait, what a fucking swing of a rating.
Yeah, man.
That sounds.
Hang on.
It's kind of like how when you're drunk and you see a
10
woman.
now. It's going to
right?
a 10.
Yeah. It's like
Nah, don't, as if are Prime doing sponsors.
probably. Yeah, they sponsor the official sponsor of UFC, and some NHL players. I think they're the influence. Yeah, like,
Dude,
Logan Paul's a WWE wrestler.
But also Logan was
he's
the guy on, was it Vine or Instagram when
Yeah.
he used to do the dwarf sketches every day?
The what?
The dwarf, the little people.
Midget?
Yeah, the midget, yeah.
Like the guy himself?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So
yeah, I know what you're talking
before
about.
Logan was big, he was doing those sketches on
Oh,
Insta
yeah,
every
yeah.
day.
I know. I remember. Yeah,
He's
I used to follow him on Vine.
yeah. That's how he, made his biscuits.
Look at the storyline, man. The fucking timeline.
Well, you talk about drive and ambition.
Yeah,
He's
that guy.
He's got it on a crazy level.
That's what I'm saying. He's one of those anomalies. He's like almost like a Novak Djokovic of like social media world. He's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
You can't deny it.
No, respect.
As much as people hate him, look at his marketing is brilliant.
See, the key word there, marketing.
Yeah,
He's
that's all it
understood
is. Him and
how
Jake, his brother,
incredible marketing and non-stop content.
nonstop. But that's where we talked about it in the beginning of the episode of like how I don't think the content I'm doing is enough, and there's never too much content. That's where I kind of resonate with that from Logan Paul.
Well, dude,
Because it's like he's just nonstop, bro. He's a podcast. He has 2 podcasts. He's a WWE wrestler. He tours doing whatever, his merch, Prime. It's like nonstop.
Victoria's Secret wife. That's the best.
You can't.
That's the best
You can't
part.
beat that,
Nah, he's fine.
right? He's fine.
He's killing it, man.
I
And Jake Paul's going to fight this Ryan Garcia. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh, I don't know. Do you follow boxing?
Not really.
Oh, anyway.
But I know Jake Paul is a beast, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how much wrestling is involved with those boxing fights. Some of it seems very
Whatever.
staged.
It's
But
honestly, man, it's social media boxing,
yeah,
right? Because they've made it a thing now where it's like it's almost its own event now.
Yeah.
It's social because it's based off his name now. It's not really about the boxing anymore. It's Jake Paul's fighting this guy. But it's like they don't really care about boxing as much.
It a bit sad though? A lot of these preordained results before they actually.
Yeah, they rig it. I think they rig it.
Even the tennis today. There's on Netflix. There was the Netflix Slam, right? And it's Rafa Nadal versus Carlos Alcaraz, and of course it went down to the wire, championship tiebreak. Of course they're playing one match, and it was like something crazy score. It's like,
Yeah. I
so
know.
they're just jerking each other off, man.
Right.
Like, come on, that was scripted by a Netflix dude. But anyway, hey, thanks for having me on the pod.
Man.
Congrats to you and your brother for doing the good work and
Appreciate
keeping
that,
the
man.
hustle alive. you
Yeah,
know?
man. And if you have anything to plug for your shows coming up, whatever podcast you have, now's your chance to this camera
Sure.
right here.
When's this coming out?
Probably 2 weeks from now? 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I've got a show. I'm not sure if you'll get here in time, but March 13 and March 20 at the Leadbeater Hotel in Richmond, 7:30 p.m. If this comes out after that, then just jump on my Instagram, AshWilliams1, and let's DM. Let's DM each other.
Your podcast? What's the name of it?
My podcast is The Ash Williams Show, and Get a Grip Tennis podcast, and I've got another one called Team Effort. That's too many podcasts, but
You're the Thanos of podcasts.
yeah, bro, too many.
Thanos.
You know I don't really get Game of Thrones references. Is that Game of Thrones?
That's Marvel. That's Avengers, bro.
Oh, so I tapped out of Avengers.
I haven't even watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's Thanos?
Thanos is like the main enemy in Avengers, in the last Avengers.
Oh, right.
I haven't even watched the movie, but I just know the memes. Like
Isn't Loki the bad guy?
that's in like one of the first ones.
Yeah, actually, I only
I
watched
don't
the
know.
first couple.
No, Loki's Thor's enemy
Oh,
in
right.
the Thor movies.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. There's too much.
There's so much.
There's just too much content, man.
So much content. Yeah. Always got to finish up with
Hey,
the
can I
content.
just ask you this too? Of all the things you've done on social media, right?
Yeah.
What's one thing where you go, that's my favorite? It's a tough question
In terms of impressions,
in terms of anything.
is anything?
Yeah.
My favorite, honestly, just doing, just posting videos, man.
Yeah.
I just like posting the videos.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I love it. I love knowing I have content to post.
Okay, I got another one for you. What's one video that really surprised you where you thought, I'm just putting this up because I think it's funny. I don't think it will do that well. And it's just gone boom.
A lot of the ones where I use music behind it, where it's
Right.
like quick videos, like me at a rave, for example.
Yeah, okay.
It's like me having fun dancing. It's like when you pop M at a rave, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And then the drop comes and it's like a big thing. 3 million views.
Dude,
out of nowhere, right?
You
So-
could teach social media to students.
Maybe.
Not that you've got the time for it, but like
no.
anyway.
Yeah. Maybe one day. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, that's for another day. Maybe
Yeah.
I will. Maybe I will. If the comedy career goes down the drain, social media training, baby. But it's
Well,
not. I believe in my career.
That's
so.
when you know it's not going well because I know a lot of guys who are teaching stand-up.
Oh,
and,
that's how you know you're done.
Their
Yeah, you start
careers-
teaching, you're done.
Yeah, their stand-up
Yeah,
careers aren't going well.
That's it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. My name is NeemaNaz. This is Ash Williams. Check him out on all socials. Thank you for watching, or if you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much. And this has been the Stupid Neema podcast, episode 4, and we'll see you next time. Peace.